Hi Stitchy friends, welcome to my channel. My name is Joanne and I am the Eclectic Stitcher. Welcome! Today is Tuesday, September 16th. It's been about 3 weeks since I last recorded. I've been busy stitching, so I thought I'd come to you again. If you're new here, welcome. I hope that you'll find something that you like and that you'll decide to come back. And for those of you that are returning viewers, thank you for continuing to come back. Thank you for your support, for your interaction. Just thank you for being here. So today I'm going to talk about a little bit of haul. I'm going to talk about Happy Mail that I've received. We'll talk a little bit about plans. We'll talk about I have a couple new starts, I think. Yes, 2. So we'll talk about that. I'll show you those. And then, of course, you're here for whips, which are works in progress. So let's get started. So as far as haul, I am subscribed. I have been subscribed to Just Cross Stitch Magazine. And recently I received the Autumn 2025 subscription. This has got to be probably one of my favorite ones. There's a lot of nice things in here that I think I want to stitch. Someday I'll start. I've got all these magazines laying around, and I got to start it sometime. But there's things in here that I want to stitch. I'm sure a lot of you have seen this from other floss tubers, and I do believe that Carolyn, who is Seasick Stitch, she does a flip through of all these magazines, so check her out. I will link her below if you want to see the inside of this magazine. It's great. Lots of good stuff. So I got that. I also recently rejoined the Tiny Modernist Patreon. I was in her Patreon probably in 2023 for a little while, and then I was just collecting a lot of charts, and I'm like, I need to stop. But I don't know why I decided to join her again, but I'm glad because, she is one of my favorite designers, and anything she does, well, most of the stuff she does, I want. So I joined last month or earlier this month. I went ahead and signed up again. And when you sign up, you get access to the current month and the month before. So I wanted to show you that. So this is the September chart. And is that not the cutest? The Haunted Boots. Now I'm not a seasonal stitcher, but I will stitch some Christmas, some Halloween. I'm big on patriotic things, but I thought this was the cutest Halloween chart. Look at that boot. It is really cute. So I don't know when I'll start it, but it's definitely going to get stitched. And then this was the August chart, which is really cute. I really like those pumpkins. Don't know why, just that section there. Like I could just stitch that section right here and be happy with that. But it's a cute chart, and I look forward to stitching that someday. So that's about it as far as haul. As far as Happy Mail, so I've won a couple giveaways recently in the last couple of weeks, and it's been fun. I don't see myself as winning a lot of things, but when your name gets shouted out at a FlossTube channel, it's kind of awesome. So I was called out at Stitching with the Housewives, and I received the Cross Stitcher word swap. And I think that is a cute chart. Now, one of the ladies from the Discord group I'm part of, she stitched this, and she added motifs to it, and I like that idea. Now, this is a cute chart as is, but I think that adding some motifs to that a little bit more, I think really makes it really cool. So, I don't know, whenever I do stitch this, sometime in the next, 30, 40 years, I'll decide that. But just a cute little chart. I got that. And then in the Discord group, I talked in my last video that I am participating in their Biscornu stitch. So we're learning how to do Biscornus, and I've been stitching on that. And every week they do a giveaway for the participants. So I won a giveaway with them. And I'm going to show you this because actually I started this. Of course I did, because it came fully kitted. So this is not only a new start, it's a Happy Meal, and it's a whip. Well, a little bit of a whip. But I won this chart. Now, I just recently, a couple months ago, started stitching Tiny Towns, and I'm doing the Patriotic Tiny Town, and I was so excited to get this Harvest one. And so it came fully kitted. It came with this fabric, which is an 18 count Aida by Fox and Rabbit. The color is Hog Bristle. So she included the chart, the fabric, all the DMC colors. It came in a bag, a zipper bag, which I don't have because I sent it to my LNS so that she can make me a project bag cover for it. So when I get that, I will show you that. But it came with that, and then it came with a few little knickknacks things, just really cool stuff. So I was happy about that. There's my start. I finished the house. I still have to put the owl's eyes in there, but they're French knots, and so I tried and didn't work out, and I tried 3 times, so I says I will try that later. So yeah, so there's my new start, my haul, and a little bit of a whip. So that was Happy Meal. Plans. Let me tell you a little bit about plans. So in case you did not know, Lindy Stitches, who is Stephanie Webb, she is the designer under Lindy Stitches. She is having an online retreat this weekend. So that's September 19th, 20th, and 21st. She is the creator of Jingle Ball. And this year, she added, or the last year or two, she's added online events throughout the year, and they happen about every 3 months. So this weekend is the Harvest Moon Hangout. If you are not signed up, sign up. If you cannot attend a face-to-face retreat, this is a way to meet other stitchers, hang out, stitch with other stitchers, but Stephanie makes these events really fun. There's a lot of things that goes on, so check her out. I will also link her below so that you can get more information about the event. And I think it's either $10 or $15. I don't remember. I haven't got my ticket yet, but I'm going to get my ticket. But sign up. And if you're there and you see me, say hello. I'll be jumping around different tables. So that's happening this weekend. Next weekend is Annabella's pop-up retreat. Now, Annabella started these pop-up retreats, which are online retreats. She started this in the summer of 2023. And I joined her first pop-up retreat, and I had a lot of fun. I did not join after that just because of other things going on or for financial reasons. But I've noticed lately that her pop-up retreats, they're only one-day retreats. They're about 5 or 6 hours long. It's very inexpensive. So when I saw that she was having the autumn pop-up routine, I thought, hey, let me join. Let me see how things are. It's been a couple years. Why not give her a try? So her retreat is going to be on the 27th, which is the following Saturday. So that is going to be so much fun. I am looking forward to that. I will also, if you don't know who Annabella is, she is she does cross-stitch designing, but she's also owns a store in North Carolina, I think it is, South Carolina. I forget. I will link her below. Check her out. She's done some great things. But yeah, so that's what I'll do. Other than that, as far as plans, I'm just stitching. I am participating in the I Spy Challenge. I had said in my last video that I was going to participate in AB Singo, which is hosted by Silk Stitch. However, that didn't work out for me. When I do challenges, I really cannot be tied to doing daily things or kind of homework for me. I tried a couple times, and then I thought, a couple days, and I thought, no, not going to do that. I like I Spy because, I have my prompts printed out, and so when I stitch on a whip, before I put that whip away, I will look to see if I can fit it into one of the prompts. If I can, great. Then I'll go ahead and post it, write that down. But I don't plan it in advance. I just add them as I stitch on my whips. That way it's not homework. I am stitching on whatever I want to stitch that day, and then I'll add them later. Okay, so that's for my plans. Just looking at my nuts. No. I'm sorry, looking at my notes. I have notes because I want to make sure that I don't miss something. Haul, Happy Mail plans, new starts, whips. All right, so let's get going. Let me show you what I have. And that's one of the things about me. It's like I want to keep my videos between 30-40 minutes. There's a lot of floss tubers out there. I follow a lot of them. I'm getting behind. I think I'm down to 19 videos that I'm missing, so I got to catch up. So let me get going so that you can get going and enjoy other videos. So besides the Harvest Tiny Town, I had another new start, and here it is. Here it is. This is called the Stitching Parliament, although I am going to call this the Superb Owl, because this was a chart from the Superb Owl Lindy Stitches online retreat that she had earlier this year, I think it was. And so the reason I started this is because Jen from Jen's Fiber Web is doing a stitch along or start along or Sal in the month of September. She is calling it hashtag gonna be Owl Right Sal. And because I had this owl chart, I thought, why not start it? I really think that's a cute chart, and I wanted to start it. I like all things owl too. So that was my excuse for starting this stitch along or this chart, because it's part of a stitch along. So thank you, Jen. I will link her below. I'm sure that this stitch along or start along will go on forever. So if you wanted to join, it's not too late. As you can see, we're halfway through the month, and that's all I've done. Will I pick this up again? Probably. But yeah, so that was my new star. Let me show you that again. And I am just stitching this on an 18 count Ada, and I'm using DMC colors. Okay, one moment. Kitty on board. Okay. Hopefully he'll stay calm and quiet. He doesn't bother with me unless I get on Zoom or I start talking to myself here. And then he wants to come over and bother with me. So going to whips. This is Lakeside Twilight. This came from the... So sorry. It is raining outside and it's thundering, so kind of got scared there for a second. Anyways, back to my whips. So this is a chart from the Max or the Cross Stitch in the Forest book that came out in 2024. There's a picture of the book. Some of you have seen that before. Max Pigeon is the designer. This book has 25 charts that are just great. And what I like about some of his charts is that it's that negative space. And I think this is just the coolest chart. I started this back in September 2024. So Beth, the Steadfast Stitcher, decided to do a start along. And she said, pick any chart from the book to stitch. And so this is hashtag Pigeon Forest Sal. And I picked this chart because I thought it looked simple enough to do and it will be a quick stitch. Well, I will tell you that it's not that quick if I don't stitch on it. When I picked this up this last week, all I had was the sun or the moon and a little bit of this here. So I spent a lot of time this last week getting to where I am. And I just think that it's a cool chart. Oh, can you see that? I don't know if you can see the sun. There's the sun there. And I'm stitching this on a 16 count Aida by Witchold, which is the DMC colors. So I'm excited to get this. Now this book I do believe is still available on Amazon. I don't know where else you can find it, but I do know that it is still available because I actually just heard another FlossTuber talk about it this last week. So, and she had just gotten it recently, if I'm not mistaken. So it should still be available if you're interested in that. This next one is one that I worked on it a couple times this last month. It's Gift Thanks. This was a freebie chart from Primrose Cottage, and they had this on their newsletter in 2024, one of their monthly newsletters. But the reason I am stitching this is because Jacinta, whose FlossTube channel is Crafting on the Plains, is stitching freebies in 2025. So, and I've talked about this before. I did tag her when I last did the video, but I added some more stitches to this. I actually added here, I worked on the word give and this pumpkin here. I still have not figured out what color pumpkin I'm going to do for those white ones. I do have the white floss, but I don't like it on this fabric. It's too light. So I'm going to look for some other colors. I haven't decided yet. I know that pumpkins come in all kinds of colors, but hopefully I'll decide something the next time I pick this up. So yeah, so I just wanted to show a little bit of progress. To me, anytime I work on a whip, I'm going to show it. If I can get at least 50 stitches in there. I mean, if I only put 10 stitches in there, to me, it's not worth showing it. That's just my opinion. But I am going to show you everything that I stitch on. Because, too, it gives me content to show on the video. This next chart, I've been working on this for a little while. It's Farm Life by It's So Emma. I think this is the cutest thing. So the last thing that I worked on is I finished the cow. And I am stitching this on a 16 count Aida by Witchold. And I am using Color and Cotton, which is actually the thread pack that Fat Quarter Shop sells. Well, I don't know if they still sell it, but when this chart came out, they were selling the Color and Cotton thread packs. And it's just something that came up in my random generator. So a lot of times I get people that ask me, how do I decide? So I have about 63 whips right now. And people ask me all the time, well, how do you decide to stitch on something? I use a random generator. I have a list with my whips listed, and I randomly pick a number, and then whatever number lands on, I stitch on that. So sometimes there's no rhyme or reason why I stitch on it other than it was what was picked for that day. I do mark it off so that if that number comes up again, I know that I've worked on it already. Let's work on something else. And that's really my only method for that. Like I said, I don't plan for the I Spy challenge. I will add these whips to the I Spy challenge if they fit. Now this is my Biscornu that I'm doing with the Discord group. This is Willow and Finn. And I am stitching this on an 18 count Aida color peach. And this chart was an exclusive for Pacific Northwest Stitch Summit, which is Acorns and Threads. This actually came as a kit with the Weeks Dye Works, and I'm thinking it's Classic Color Works, CCC. But I did show this. This was a new start in my last video. And so since I last worked, or since my last video, I think I finished this section here, and I've added this little guy over here. So I've got a lot of progress. I try to work on this every week. I haven't done very good this last week, but I try to work on that, trying to keep up. The Discord group, the idea of it is to finish it by the end of the month, September, and then we're going to learn how to put it together. That's not going to get done in September, but I'm going to keep stitching on it. And when I do get it done, then I know who to go to get help to get it finished. But it's going to be worked on when I can. This next one is Patriotic Angel by the Stitchy Princess. I'm stitching this on an 18 count Aida color hog bristle, and I'm using just DMC. And the last time I worked on this, I did this, and I do believe I did the word America. That skirt took me a while. Normally when I stitch on projects, I will stitch on it at least for 1 or 2 days, and then I'll switch it up. Sometimes I'll stitch on it for 3 days. I think the most I've done is 3 days. I don't normally go on after 3 days because I want to touch more whip. So 3 days is the maximum. Now it's time to move on. But that skirt, I think I worked on that on a Saturday. And I think it took me just about all day Saturday stitching on that. It's a lot of stitching. It's a little skirt, but it's a lot of stitching. But I really enjoy that chart. It's really nice. Oh, one last whip. Wow, we're moving right along. Now this one, I'm going to show you the chart first because it's a little bit longer. But this is Love Your Family from Teresa Kogut. This came from her Let Love Rain book, I do believe. Yes, Let Love Rain book, which was released in 2022. And this is one of the smaller charts in that book. I am stitching this on an 16 count Aida color amber, and I'm just using DMC colors. And let me show you where I am. Give me a second here. This one actually took up my whole board. And here it is. What I worked on last was pretty much this section here. I started this down here, but I mainly worked on that section there. And I'm really enjoying this. I really like this. I think the colors are great. I know you're probably thinking, well, why didn't you just finish the lady? Well, that lady has a lot of stitching. Look at that dress. So by the time I got done with him, I needed to call it quits. And I do think that I put in, every time I pick this up, I will add more stitches to the house. So I do believe I finished those windows, the inside of the windows, and I may have added a couple rows here. But that is a massive house. And so I will work on it little by little. But there's that. And that's it, you guys. That's all I have for you today. Short video, look at that, almost 25 minutes. What else can I talk about? Nothing. I'm going to let you guys go. This is all I have. If you have any questions, comments, please feel free to comment below. You can also find me on Instagram, Joanne the Eclectic Stitcher. You can email me at joannetheeclecticstitcher@gmail.com. Comment below. Hey, find me. I'm out there. Come to Discord. I'll link Goose. Denise. She has the link to the Discord. Come join us. Hopefully I'll see you at the Harvest Moon this weekend. Don't be afraid to stop by. I'm just a normal person. Come say hello. Come stitch with us. Thank you for coming. Thank you for watching to the end. And have a great day, evening, week. Bye. Bye-bye.